Hey guys, welcome to the Metaverse. In today's video, really quickly, I think I'm just gonna go over a project and kind of explain my thoughts on it and why I think those thoughts. It's really just gonna be about how to look into communities and how to recognize what you're seeing. And really, the main point is that, no matter what point you're focused on about a project, no matter how much hype you've got for something, no matter how much you're looking forward to a project taking off, it really is down to the actual development of it. So you've got to pay attention and do research. You can't just hook onto a project because you think it's dope and buy it right away. There's definitely times when you should just act on your feelings and not hesitate and not let yourself out of situations where you're gonna purchase something or regret something. There's definitely something to say about following your heart and taking action like that. But even then, it's still definitely important to make an informed decision when you've done your proper research and you know what you're looking for. So the project that I'm going to be looking at today is Non-Fungible People by Daz3D, and I have a bit of a personal interest in this one, to be honest. My background is in art and animation. I've done 3D artwork and compositing. I've done rendering. I've written shaders, the whole works. Right, so I'm very familiar with Daz3D as a Daz posing studio, and so this project caught my interest because it's from the Daz3D people, and I know the kind of work that they do on the visual end is straight fire. Like, there's nothing you can say wrong with these visuals. Like, just look at even the preview ones; they look sick, like hyper realistic. The shading that's done on them, like, these are extremely high quality renders. But as we're seeing more and more with projects these days, art can't carry a project alone most of the time. There has to be some kind of utility and there has to be some kind of community. It's essential. There's very, very few projects that can get away on just having dope artwork and that's it. Those projects usually last a couple months and they sell out, because of a novelty or as a meme, and then they totally die off and there's no reason to own them anymore, so they just plummet. So if we get into it here, minting for this one actually started today, so this is as fresh as it gets. So obviously these are all to be revealed. The first thing we're going to look at right now is their site, and it's very clean, as I would expect from a large team like Daz has, because it's an industry professional level of development they've got going on here. Daz is a very, very large program. Here's says honorary NFP friends. That's clever too. I love that. Non-Fungible People, NFP, a really, really good play on words there. That's really cool. Platinum recording. So these are definitely just some sponsors, some endorsements, just some celebrities who are interested in this project. They've got some NFT giveaways going on. Looks like a Clone X giveaway. That's pretty valuable. Some pretty high profit stuff here. Discord, obviously, utility only we can bring. Metaverse ready. And I will say, with this hyper realistic style, these are the most metaverse ready 3D models I've seen in a long time. Like borderline Clone X levels of being metaverse ready. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's actual assets included to get you into the metaverse when you are part of this project here. Use your NFP to create games, animations, videos, and more. So that definitely means they're going to give you the actual assets for this stuff. Each stunning 3D figure is compatible with popular software like Blender, Unreal, Unity, and Daz Studio. So that usually is going to be something like OBJ, DAE for rigs, maybe FBX. It just depends on what kind of file format they're going to be giving this to you. And obviously that doesn't mean anything to people who aren't modelers or animators, but to animators, especially people like me who have worked in Unity a lot, that's really exciting. Being able to use this stuff in Unity projects, that's cool. Put them in games, that's cool. Put them in VR chat, chill out VR, that's some really cool utility to me personally. Use your NFP to create whatever you want, wherever you want. That again, you get the assets themselves, so you can basically do with them what you will. Each NFP comes with a fully rigged 3D model, ready to use however you like. Back to what I said. mocap streaming, no more boring Zoom meetings, become your NFP and live streams and video calls. So I don't know if they're going to have a plugin for Zoom that does that. I don't really know much about Zoom, but what that signals to me is that this goes into another one of my really big interests, which is VTubing. Being able to use your NFT as a VTuber avatar, that would be sick. Just think about that. Remix and customize, pose, animate, change outfits, body type, hair, accessories, and more. Because you have the model, you can do whatever you want with it, right? You own the asset itself, so they're going to give you a 3D model, however that's delivered. I assume it's one of the standard forms if they're saying Blender and Unity, so probably FBX. Total ownership. You can do anything you'd like with your NFP, NFT. It's a bit weird, those two together, honestly. With the exception of selling its individual 3D components. So that means they've got some kind of TOS, which is going to be this here. Test production. Yep, a TOS here. Most likely stating things like, resale, terms of service in that way. So no trying to sell individual pieces of NFTs on aftermarkets. That's standard in these, stock asset worlds like DAZ, because DAZ Studio is a posing studio. Deploy anywhere. Easily export your NFP 3D models to your favorite 3D software. So one thing of note here that's not necessarily worrying, but I definitely noticed, is reiterating a lot of the same thing. Like 4 of these are the exact same thing. They're just worded differently. Now, if you don't know what you're looking at, I'm sure that looks like, 6 like pretty fire points right there. But as a 3D animator and modeler myself, all of this is saying the same thing. And what that's telling me is that they don't have a utility beyond just giving you the model, at least so far. CloneX, they're developing a game, obviously yet to be seen, but I'm not going to say anything about it because it's not a thing yet. A lot of projects are developing games. That's their main function of utility, is adding some kind of gaming aspect that goes along with the NFT. The interesting thing here is they're really focused on giving you the assets. And while I think that's super, super cool as an animator, especially as someone that plays VR chat, especially as someone that's into VTubing, I think the average person is maybe not going to see as much utility in that, but we'll see. Maybe they have a game planned. Maybe they're going to partner with someone. Who knows? Maybe they'll partner with Chill Out VR or VR Chat or something like that. That's probably just a pipe dream, but that would be super, super cool to get into in this space. People are saying this is basically the same blurb about people talking about this. This is getting some traction. The interesting thing here is that they have included the metrics at the bottom here. And, some of these are looking okay. 44 likes, 2 quotes, 13 retweets. These are not getting a lot of traction. This one's it's a little interesting that they even posted this at all. Only 22 likes. Some of this Twitter stuff is not popping. Now that the famous people here, these are popping, obviously. I mean, anything they post is going to be popping. They could say good morning and it would pop off because of who they are. So let's read through their roadmap. Pre-sale, giveaways, weekly giveaways from some of our favorite collections like Fame, Fame Ladies, Robotos, etc. So, a lot of giveaways are happening in the NFT space right now. It's one of the main ways to get an initial audience. The thing to look at is what happens after those giveaways. Once they've expended all their giveaway stuff, what are they doing? Are they just Ponziing it up and they're using the money that they got from investors to do more giveaways? Or are they out of ideas and they're going to fall back on, say, promising a game or promising some kind of extra utility or, something like that? Because you really have to be careful in this space. There's so many scams out there, and you really, really have to do your due diligence, do your own research. Don't just listen to people. Don't just listen to me. Get a lot of opinions on this stuff, right? Because I'm not a financial advisor. All I can do is talk about the things I like. That's all I'm doing here. Contests and games for other community rewards. Groundbreaking reveals, sneak peeks, pretty standard. Doxing DAZ execs and NFP staff. It's interesting how early on that's happening. A lot of people nowadays we're seeing are sort of valuing a doxed project a lot more. And me personally, I don't know. I tend to like a little bit of privacy, especially in my own business ventures, but I definitely understand why people are valuing these doxed projects and the process of doxing in general. It just gives you this personal, I know who these guys are. I know the kinds of things they've done. I can see the success behind them. They've got good heads on their shoulders, whatever. it's weird for this, and I know why they did this. It's weird for this because anyone that knows Daz 3D doesn't even need them to dox themselves. It's Daz Studio, you know? They've got work under their belt that is totally credible. But most people are not modelers like I am. Most people probably have never heard of Daz Studio, so this is definitely going to be helpful for them in the doxing section. Let's get through the rest of these pretty quickly. Stunning utility reveals, that doesn't mean anything. Whitelist, I'll go over what whitelist means in another video. I realize there's a lot of different terms that I haven't gone over, so I'm going to make sure to make a video going over those in a really concise, cromulent, easy to understand manner. Whitelist is one of those, so don't worry about that. Owners of any Daz 3D or Taffy NFTs will get a spot on the whitelist. So they have a connection to VRChat already, actually, because Taffy is partnered with them. They allow avatars to be ported from Taffy to VRChat. So we might be seeing a future with NFPs here with the same kind of integration. That'd be really cool for the few people that actually have VR. Chances to win whitelist spot, that's pretty standard. 2x 1 ETH giveaway, so 2 times they're giving away 1 Ethereum. At 20k Discord members, we'll launch 2 giveaways of 1 ETH each. Discord members are only, that's standard. 50k, same deal, but with larger numbers, that's standard. Wall art giveaway to 300 of the first 1,000 people bought on NFP. That's a novelty. That's a novelty utility. You can almost think of that as like an airdrop. Daily freebies for collection owners, daily giveaways or airdrops from December 28th through December 31st. More giveaway focused stuff, and that's standard. That's nothing wrong with that. A lot of projects need that to give them their initial push, and this is, well, I wouldn't say 80% is initial push, but it's still before being, sold out or whatever. Post-mint giveaways, including a Clone X. So that's what we saw earlier. One of their giveaways is a Clone X. That's going to be pretty damn valuable. That's hella valuable right there, Clone X. PFP utility kit. I'm guessing that's an SDK. Become your NFP in live streams and use them in Daz Studio, Unity, Unreal, Blender, and more. That's hopefully an SDK because that's actually not easy to set up on your own if you don't know anything about Unity or Blender or any of those programs. Especially if me saying those words means nothing to you and you've never heard of Blender or Unity or Daz 3D. It'll be doubly hard for you to get anything out of that utility if you don't understand that. Maybe they'll probably make some videos about how to do that, I hope. 5% of sales to support women in tech. Now, donations are cool. I'm all for donations. Frankly, no one cares. Let's be real. You don't care about a project donating, or maybe you do, and you're one of the very few people that do, but projects donating is more and more so becoming less of a utility. You see it a lot because it's actually relatively easy to do, and it kind of gives the project heart. But really, we're investors. We want to see hard results. We want to see exactly what we're going to get out of this, what you're going to get out of this. We want to see where this project is going. We don't need to know that you're donating, 5% of sales to women in tech. Now, that's still awesome. It's great that they're donating 5% of sales, to women in tech. Hats off to them. That's definitely a worthy cause. Merch store, cool. Metaverse experience, hosting events in places like DCL, so Decentraland and Sandbox. I don't know how events really go in Decentraland. Decentraland, from what I've experienced, is not amazing for that kind of stuff. Sandbox would be poppin'. Ongoing education, tutorials, workshops, NFP platforms across the metaverse. I would love to get some 3D modeling workshops in there too, but that's such a niche thing that, no one cares. And you're probably already sick of me talking about it, but this is just, I love that stuff. Helping artists bring their collections to life. That's cool. Generation 2 coming out in 2022. Okay. This is, again, that's odd that they're reiterating this since it's such a minor point. The team. Okay. So doxed team. That's cool. No links to, links to socials for all but the, whoever this is, Cat Briggs. For everybody. Wow. This is a large team. Oh no, and you don't have one either, collection leader. This is a large team. I mean, as expected of a company like Daz, very big company, obviously. Create a wallet, yeah. Ethereum, yep, obviously. Ethereum mainnet. Just like everything else, FAQ, not gonna go over that. You can read all that stuff on your own if you're interested in this project. About Daz, 2D Marketplace. This is interesting that this is here. I don't know why this is here. It's actually because it's not related to this at all. or maybe it is. I mean, they might have something where, actually, I'll read up on that, because they might actually have something where these NFTs or NFPs are going to integrate into DAZ Studio like directly, and so you can, from the marketplace on DAZ, actually get, you know, clothing and whatnot onto your NFT through that. So I mean, I've been on this site for a while. This is a big site. Big sites are actually kind of annoying sometimes. A lot of people don't really want to read through, you know, 15 minutes of text on a website. But this was cromulent enough that I don't really have an issue with it. So let's look at their Twitter. 9,794. That's a lot less than I had assumed. Although they are relatively new, in November 2021, with no real date there. And this will bring me to one really important thing about doing your own research. Don't trust numbers. This 9,792. If all 9,792 of those followers are real, genuine people who engage, that's better than 100,000 followers who don't do anything and don't rep your stuff. I would rather have 1,000 dedicated fans who retweet me and share me and they like my content than 100,000 fans who subscribe and don't even watch my videos. Because I value engagement. And that's going to be a common theme in this NFT space thing, is engagement is paramount. So one of the things you can do to kind of gauge where a project is at is look at exactly what I said, engagement. So, 12 comments, 40 retweets. This is the pinned post. So, there's no pinned post. So that actually was an hour ago, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. So, I mean, this is mint day. It's expected that they would be absolutely popping on mint day. A little less engagement on some of these than you'd think. Kind of odd, the spacing of engagement on these, because you have like a 16, a 2, a 2, but obviously as it gets closer and closer to mint, you'll see more 2 again. So there's actually not a whole lot of activity, but they do post really frequently. It's just, I think engagement might be a little low. I don't really know enough about what that would mean to kind of say one thing or another, because I don't want to accuse anything, but that kind of tells me that they're not doing enough on their end to actually promote engagement, which you can do from a variety of sources. You generally want to have your social media funnel people into each other. So your Discord links your Twitter links your Insta, and so forth, right? That's why Linktree is a really popular option for these projects to have on their homepage. Some more posts, still very little engagement, which is kind of worrying. Now, guys, I really want this project to succeed personally, because I'm a huge fan of the team, and I'm a dork for 3D modeling, so this interests me. But sometimes you just have to face the facts. Even if you're invested in something on a non-substantial level, you have to look at what you can look at, and what I'm looking at here is not a whole lot of activity going on. Let's look at some of these. I'm not logged in on this browser, so I can't look at the comments. But another thing you want to do is actually look at the comments and see, are people commenting legitimate things, or are they bots commenting links to other projects, or are they just FUD? Probably not FUD yet. I mean, this is still minting. It's not even done yet, so there's probably not too much FUD yet, but we'll see what happens after. So that's popping, 518. A little weird spread here, I haven't actually been in the scene for too long, but I do have, experience on both sides of the coin here, on the investment and the development end. And what this is telling me, just from the top of my head here, this is not an accusation or anything concrete, but there may need to be more work done on getting people to engage on Twitter. And you can do that through Discord, through, raids. Those are a really good way to do it. Just any way you can to get people engaging. So we've been on the Twitter for long enough. Let's take a look at, let's skip the Discord for now, because that's the most important one, and just look at Instagram. So even fewer followers here. And I mean, it's pretty standard stuff. It's exactly what you'd think. It's just examples and some FOMO. PFP utility kit. So that's Postman, obviously. So that's their SDK. These are pretty simple. I like the designs. Not too much to talk about here. Okay. So now onto the Discord. So this is really standard. You're first gonna have to verify through a reaction role, which would be this one. And what that's going to do is it's going to prompt your Discord. It's not automated. It's a setup you do in Discord. And a lot of projects are doing this. Community Discords have access to this, where they can basically force you to agree to an integrated little rules panel here, like this, just like TOS, before you can actually join the server. I'm not going to read this out loud. You can read these yourself if you get involved in the project. There we go. So there's a double verification system. Now there's actually no point in this step because the other one is basically the same thing, just without bot integration, but I digress. So this looks exactly like a lot of other, projects. Loads of people popping up in the voice chat here. That's a really good sign, but this is also mint day. You have to take into consideration the day you're looking at these things. If you're looking at something a month out from their launch and it's not popping, then that says something. If you're looking at something, pre-sale and it's not popping, that says a lot more. So that's good looking activity. I mean, it's kind of not helpful to look at, say, general or something right now because this is mint day. No matter what, if it has any traction whatsoever, it's going to be absolutely nutty in general chat on mint day. The important thing is what's going to happen after mint, what gets handled after mint, right? A month down the line, even, 15 days down the line, where's this project going to be, right? That's what you want to be looking at here. This has all the makings of a really good project. I'm telling you, there's some extreme quality in this, but you never really know until you see. So it looks like, nope, general chat's on. And it is, it's several people are typing and it's going. So this is a lot slower than I would expect a mint day general chat to be. Like way slower than I would expect a general chat to be, unless there's slow mode or something. But yeah, it's kind of not looking amazing actually. Most of these channels aren't really going to have anything of substance in them. That's just the way these go. There's, to promote a community, there's a lot of steps taken on the Discord end to basically give everybody what they want in terms of channels, and anything that needs to be covered gets funneled into a channel. But in terms of what you're actually going to be looking at, it's mainly going to be your general for your normal activity. After AMAs, you're going to want to check, say, the questions channels to see what's getting answered. If they record them, check that too. Let's see. How often are they posting announcements here? It looks like today. Yep, good on the announcements. Good developer interaction here, keeping people in the loop. But as they get closer and closer to mint day, that becomes way more necessary on a project end. Lots of announcements, so they seem definitely to be on top of it on this end. So I think that this is definitely still one to look out for. Now, after looking at Twitter and some of the other engagement levels, especially on this Discord, I would be a little bit wary, to be honest. I'm not going to be able to say whether or not this will sell out for sure. I can say it's actually leaning more towards it's probably not going to, as much as it pains me to say that because of my own interest in it. It's actually looking like it's kind of low activity, but I could be wrong. I am not a genius. Things can go against my expectations. It's mint day, anything can happen. But I just kind of wanted to go over what to look for, what to look at, how to vet your projects in a way here, right? How to look at these numbers and sites and kind of get actual usable information out of them that you can use to make a good decision, because your money is important. I will definitely be watching this project though. This is super, super, super interesting. It's definitely piqued my interest here. If something really big happens with this, I'll definitely make an update video on it. But for now, that's all I've got for you. Be sure to check out the project if this interests you. I'm obviously not sponsored by them or anything like that, but I just found it interesting. Hopefully you learned something as well. And if you did, maybe leave a like down below, maybe comment too. We look at all of those for really good feedback. Remember to subscribe if you want to be kept in the loop about all of our uploads, and ring the notification bell. That'll give you a notification every time I upload something new, so you can keep in the loop and keep up to date with what I'm doing. And that's all I've got for now. Until next time, stay meta.